And thanks for joining us on the show. We hope your weekend is coming on well. Welcome to Live from Abuja, and we are reaching you from Nigeria's capital city. I am Ademola Lawrence.
On the show today, we have exciting compilations from your viewing pleasure, so sit back as we take you through this experience. For the next hour, I am Jane Francis Mweze.
Jane, I think aside from the Eid-el-Fitr celebration, there were a lot of stories that, of course, happened over the week. One of which is, of course, Bobrisky, which was if she was, okay, I don't know how to put it.
He,
okay, all right.
He acknowledged.
He acknowledged.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was eventually sentenced to 6 months in jail by the courts, but one very sad one, is that of Junior Pope.
Well, of course, I mean, in the midst of Bobrisky's misery, I think Nigerians found it funny. Some people were saying Bobrisky attended a party, Idris served the sentence, and a very sad one, the circumstances surrounding the death of the young Nollywood actor. I think it's something that, calls once again for caution. Yeah,
I think everybody, of course, needs to just take a caution about that. Now, let's begin the show today with the Eid celebration that captured most of the events of the week across the country. As the celebration filled the air, some states had some popped-up activities, while others had really modest festivities to mark the day after the Eid celebration. Messages from Muslim clerics were that of peace, sacrificial, sharing, unity, and compassion.
To the life of every Muslim across the globe. Today is the day we mark the end of 30 days Ramadan fast for 2024. Therefore, we are here observing the 2 rakat prayer, showing our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who give us yet another opportunity to fast for these very days. Alhamdulillah, this fasting also is in gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for revealing the Holy Quran to the Prophet ﷺ in this month of Ramadan. So it is very, very significant, and it is very important to the life of Muslim across the globe.
It means reoccurring happiness. It means reoccurring joy. And it comes at the end of the month of Ramadan, which means the joy which God has given to us during the month of Ramadan, we begin to practicalize it and enjoy it in a better way. And it's also a time that everything we have learned in the month of Ramadan, we learn to practicalize it, especially the compassion. If you notice, so many people, they were happy during the month of Ramadan, they were happy here and there.
And one peculiar celebration of the Eid that stood out and added color to the Eid celebration is the Durbar Festival in Kaduna. The event creates time for thousands of residents to converge on the palace of the Emir of the Zoo in Zaria for the Durbar celebration, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan.
The festival, which includes horse parade by royal families, is a tradition in the Emirates which symbolizes unity and cultural pride. Among cheers and excitement, royal families display their horsemanship skills. And of course, still in the spirit of Eid-el-Fitr celebration, the Ilorin Central Mosque is the heart of Islamic life in the city. And the edifice is now a beautiful sight to behold.
The mosque serves as an abode of prayers, a center for education and information, a place for social welfare, and also for settlement of disputes.
Located in the north-central region of Nigeria, Ilorin is a cosmopolitan city and a melting pot for both the northerners and the southerners. Among its indigenes are Fulani, Hausa, Yoruba, Nupe, Baruba and others, with the emir as the traditional ruler. And while there are different ethnic backgrounds, there is a common denominator: Islam. This explains why the Islamic culture is deeply rooted in the city. The Ilorin Central Jumat Mosque is one of the most cherished common heritage of the people and a unifying factor for the people of Ilorin Emirate.
This mosque, as I'm looking at it, is the rallying point for Ilorin people. It gives us sense of unity and oneness. And the location being next to the palace, you think the palace or you think of the mosque?
The Central Mosque takes its roots from here. A new one was built next to the Emir's palace between the late 70s and early 80s during the reign of Dr. Muhammad Sulu Gambari, the 9th Emir of Ilorin and the father of the current Emir, Dr. Ibrahim Sulu Gambari. The Ilorin Central Mosque, remodeled between 2009 and 2012, is today one of the eye-catching modern-day mosques in Africa. It took building professionals from 16 different countries to come up with this modern edifice.
The mosque was constructed by professional builder, artisan from 16 countries of the world. According to Saudi Arabian officials who are here sometimes, rating it as the best in Africa, as they claim that in North Africa, another West Africa country they have visited, they found that no one rivaled this.
If you look at the architectural design, in recent history in our country, I cannot see where you can find this type of edifice, because it's a combination of so many cultures that has something to do with Islam. So what am I saying? That most of what you are seeing here are combinations of architectural design picked from various Muslim worlds.
Muhammad Fawaraja was the lead architect for the remodeling of the mosque. He explains to me how the new face of the mosque was achieved.
Before we remodeled it, it had about 86 small domes. What we have done is to demolish some of those minor domes. There are so many, but not effective. And we now reduce them to almost just about 60 domes. But the domes that we are retaining are more prominent, and they make the statement we desired.
Today, the mosque and its surroundings can accommodate about 20,000 worshippers at a time. It has a modern hybrid library for education and research purposes.
What will make the mosque be functioning is the knowledge gained in the library. Islam is based on knowledge, and library, as we all know, everywhere is custodian where literatures produced by our forebearers are kept. And Alhamdulillah, Ilorin, as we know, had produced many scholars. So we are appealing to each family that, are the custodians of these literatures written by our eminent scholars of note to please donate such books for posterity.
Apart from other unique features, it also has one of the best Islamic calligraphies and interior decorations. The mosque attracts worshippers and tourists even beyond the shores of Nigeria. These three came all the way from Turkey to have a glimpse of the mosque.
This is the biggest mosque in this town, so we want to visit this area. In this mosque, the architecture is quite similar in Turkey's mosques, so we like it.
The mosque requires constant maintenance, and this explains why the custodian of the mosque and the Emir of Ilorin, Dr. Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, is asking indigenes and friends of Ilorin Emirate to always contribute generously to this cause.
Wake up and realize that such a beauty like this needs money to maintain. Please, we have men of honor, men of integrity who can use and manage any contribution that we may do.
But apart from receiving donations, there is the need for the mosque to have income-generating businesses for the maintenance of the structure.
Okay, I think that one of the most important is the fact that the Durbar Festival is back. It's not been on for a while due to the fact that, security issues, but now that things are beginning to stabilize, I think it's nice to see that, people can come out and enjoy the festival. One of the, biggest festival during the Eid-el-Fitr celebration, the Durbar Festival, I think is a good one. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a great one. So first of all, I'd commend the story because it just kind of puts you right there in Zao. So, you feel the atmosphere and what it's like for these people. And like you clearly pointed out, it's like a win, against insecurity, because it gives you that sense of, well, if this is happening and it happens successfully. So maybe people who would have loved to travel but did not. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, so the first one happened peacefully. So that means we can actually, travel for the next one. So I think it's massive. It's great. It's good to see these kind of things come back, really.
I remember when I was schooling in University of Ilorin, so when it's time for the Eid-el-Fitr celebration, sometimes I always like to stay back, so that because I can be able to enjoy the festive period. The festive period during that time it kind of brings an atmosphere that you like. There's the small Salah, there's the big Salah. So I always want to be in that mood of the Salah period. And I think that mood is what we saw during this last Eid-el-Fitr celebration.
It's massive on all round. You look at the number of days that we actually had. So it was good. Yeah, so people who wouldn't ordinarily travel, had to, saw the late opportunity to actually travel. To travel, and then it kind of takes you back, to that culture setting of, like, you could see what they were wearing. Yeah. So it takes you back to that cultural setting where you get to reconnect with nature, so to say, and the traditions. So it's not just about the religious celebration, but also us as a people. You find out the other unique things about each tribe and all that. So it's quite beautiful.
The beautiful part of it is, when you talk about the costume that comes with the celebration. That's what people actually want to see. Some people want to see how you're able to come out in your regalia and look at how beautiful, and because the regalia makes the whole atmosphere, beautiful. And I remember that, like I was saying back in Ilorin, you always find all of these things when that time comes. You can see, and you see how the people come out in their regalia and how beautiful and how colorful everywhere is. I think that, over the past years, people might not have been able to do all of these things, but now that things are beginning to subside and stability is beginning to come into some places in some parts of the country. So it's very, very interesting that we're seeing it. I know. Then the cultural part of it, aside from the religious part, you now see that's an infusion of cultural and religious aspect in one fold. Trying to see that this is how they do it in this part of the country. This is how this part of the country celebrates the Eid-el-Fitr celebration.
Well, it's beautiful, to know, because recently there have been that message out there going on about, how religion is not supposed to separate us from who we are, but should actually integrate. So the fact that maybe I am a Nigerian, Yoruba, whilst a Muslim, should not separate the fact that there are some very traditional things about the Yoruba people that are still very good, that I can practice alongside my religion and all that. So it's quite impressive. It's even though it marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, but you find that even the people who are not Muslims are going to, because it's such a beautiful thing, and you're not going to exclude yourself because you're not Muslim. So it's quite great.
And I think that the message that was passed during this Ramadan period was very unique, which is the message of unity, peace. The president also talked about it when he went for the prayers. where the people have to, in this month of Ramadan, the Ramadan month might have passed, but let's use this opportunity to come together as a nation, to share that love that we all have for each other. See your next neighbor as yourself. You need to love your neighbor as yourself. That's what the Holy Book also preaches.
Yeah, and so you also remember that a couple of weeks back was when the Christians celebrated Easter.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
you had the Archbishop of Abuja, but Diocese also talking about the fact that we had. So within the last, let me say, two months, yeah. We've had, a constant message from the Muslim faithfuls and also from the Christian faithfuls about why we should always. While we should always, find a way to promote peace, tolerate each other. So the fact that I am Christian, I am Muslim, means that I have to respect that what the other person has is genuine. So in their own space, I have to, I'm not going to think it's superior. So you have that message constantly coming from the Muslim faithful and from the Christian faithfuls, which brings up about what the Archbishop also said, the fact that the people who cross religious crises are not actually the true religious people. Because if you're truly religious, you have to give the other person's respect.
Yeah, I think that the last 2 months has been a month of reflection on what we have as a people, not just in Nigeria, just all over the world, but Nigeria in particular, because it was the Easter celebration, now to the Eid-el-Fitr celebration. It was pari passu because there was Lent and there was the
there was the holy month of Ramadan.
So it was pari passu us at the time. And I think that to a large extent, we should use that opportunity to unite ourselves. You need to preach peace across board, irrespective
We need to listen to the preaching of peace, because that's what has been going on in the past month.
I think so, and we really need to talk about that. And of course, it's still a lot to do, but of course, we will definitely be talking about that in the course of the day. We'll take a break. When we come back, it will be time for the headline news. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Meetings, consultations, and of course traffic, and that's all part of the hustle and bustle of city life. But the real fun starts when I can just settle down and catch up with all my favorite programs on TVC. Believe me, it's pure entertainment.
President Bola Tinubu joined all the Muslim faithful to observe the Eid-el-Fitr prayers at the Dodan Barracks in Ikoyi, Lagos. Earlier, while leading a prayer session, Grand Chief Imam of Lagos, Sheikh Suleiman Abanola, said fasting has great blessings.
After several months of disagreement between Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State and his deputy, Philip Shaibu, 39-year-old Omobayo Marvelous Godwins has now been sworn in as deputy governor. Mr. Godwins was sworn in as the Festival Hall at Government House, Benin City, by the Edo State Chief Judge, Honorable Justice Daniel Iyobosa Okungboa.
The Lagos State Governor has announced the closure of Idumota Market on Lagos Island after a fire outbreak that claimed the life of one person and left several others injured. The incident resulted in severe damage and the collapse of at least 14 buildings in the area.
What a devastating news there. And the federal government of Nigeria, in collaboration with the National Identity Management Commission, the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System will introduce and identify solutions with integrated payment features for various social and financial services. The initiative, known as Afrigo, will leverage the National Identity Card by incorporating variable identity features mandated by the NIMC Act of number 23 of 2007.
The exchange rate for clearance of goods and import duties assessment by the Nigerian Customs Service has dropped from 1,246 to $1 to 1,238 to the US dollar. This represents a decline of 6 naira 14 kobo in the past 2 days. The current customs exchange rate falls below the official market rate of the naira to the US dollar. Yesterday, the naira closed at 1,248 to $1 on the official NAFIM window.
As a security expert from crypto firm Benite has been remanded in a notorious Nigerian prison after pleading not guilty to the charges of tax evasion and money laundering. The ongoing case has taken a dead turn as he finds himself remanded in custody in Nigeria's famous Kuje prison.
And outside Nigeria, Kenya's drug regulator has issued a recall for a batch of Johnson & Johnson children's cough syrup following Nigeria's decision to recall the same batch under the Benylin pediatric brand. The action comes amidst concerns over the presence of diethylene glycol, a substance linked to fatal outcomes in several countries, including Gambia, Uzbekistan, and Cameroon since 2022. Nigeria's health regulatory body earlier reviewed that laboratory tests conducted on the syrup detected elevated levels of diethylene glycol.
Interesting one there. And persons with disabilities says the persistent face stigma, discrimination and inability to access basic social services and economic opportunities in the country. While the current economic situation, it has become increasingly difficult for many to acquire an assistive device to help their plight or sustain themselves.
However, in line with the federal government's commitment to provide food palliatives to persons living with disability, food items were distributed to over 200 disabled persons in Abuja recently. Other individuals and organizations do their own part of giving out to the less privileged in the society. But the question is, are these palliatives really enough to provide for those who are really in need?
Interesting. It's a conversation we are going to have. And that conversation has to do with, how people are actually faring during this time around persons with disabilities, how inclusive we are having them in our society.
Deliberately inclusive, more like, because you have to make deliberate plans to have them.
Deliberate inclusive, more like. Joining us live in the studio is a philanthropist, Adiza Maman Vasta. And she joins us in our studio to talk about this.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I like your color.
Thank you.
Interesting conversation that we need to have. Of course, we know you have done a lot of distribution palliatives to the less privileged. But tell us why you feel giving palliative is very important and empowering these receivers. Why?
Thank you. And why do I find it is that I'll go straight to the point. I lost my parents when I was a very tender age. And I come from polygamy family. We are 13 in number. So we remain only two, me and my brother. I start my business with 65,000. And today, I don't know how to explain my wealth, but God has blessed me. I have to give back to society so that I can put smile. You can imagine where I'm coming from, what I have passed through when you lost your parent. You can know the pain. Today I can talk and smile. I don't even feel it. So, and that's what dragged me into that. And also, I have to give back to society to pull out these children out of. Some of them, when I doing campaign, I give a lot of empowerment, and I receive a lot of good news. Say, you give us some things. We have more. We can earn 20,000. I said, are you serious? So I don't have a choice. Right now, I have acquired 50 hectares of land to build the largest factory in the whole Nigeria here, where other people can be able to come and learn skill work so that they can be useful to society.
All right. I know you want to ask a question, but when you were talking, there was a whole lot of things were going through my mind. And which is, of course, when you talked about the fact that when you laid the background of where you came from and what you intend to do, what you've been doing rather, and what you intend to do. Some persons will be in the same situation that you are.
Yeah.
And they don't tend to see it from your own perspective. But how do you think that people can start, the ones who have, can start giving up? Because it's when you have and you need to give. How do you think people need to start giving, so that we can have a better society?
Yeah, how do you have better society? I can only talk to them outside there. People, they are watching me outside there. There is a lot of good people outside there that they can still help if you're willing to help. If you want to help the society, why am I out now? Is to me to help the less privileged. I can do to renew hope agenda. And I find it that what God has blessed me with, I should come out. You don't have to depend on government. This is not the time for government. You have to stand to help. If you go outside there, you see what the children they are passing through. You see what those widows they are passing through. What I do to them, I give them their children's scholarship. As I be going around for the whole Federation of Nigeria for 36, I've gone to like 22 states.
Wow.
During the Army Remembrance Day, I give widows to 60 sewing machine to empower them so that they can have something doing. I've been doing a lot, but right now I've acquired a land where I can take 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people on the street. They can have something doing so that they can be able to learn skill work. When they learn this work, they can be useful to society. I want to build the largest factory in Nigeria here.
All right, so, but, so we probably would have to work with the statistics that we have. And the Nigerian Economic Summit puts the percentage of unemployment at 37%. So now you're talking about the fact that most of the things you do, so it's not just to hand out food to people who are hungry, but you also empower them. Do you see this as something that can contribute to probably dropping the level of unemployment maybe in a couple of months? Okay,
I want to ask you something. If you can give out take 10,000 people on the street, a lot of people, if you go outside there, you cannot withstand what I see every day. Giving food is just food. To me, I don't do value food as anything. My foundation stands for empowerment. For me to get 50 hectares, you know that I'm not joking. I can take more than 10,000 people. I've contacted my expatriates. They are coming to teach them skin work. They will learn how to do shoe, modern farming. That is what is all the about
your foundation?
For my foundation and empowerment, to make sure I take some of those people. When you go around, if I can empower 10,000 people, take them out of poverty, I think Nigeria will be better. If you have me like this, like 10, what are we talking about in Nigeria?
Yes, but I was also going to ask, so do you follow up to know that I gave this person, a sewing machine, and now I know that they have established themselves, so to say?
I have an office, which I'm going to commissioning very soon. I'm going to launch my foundation very soon. I ordered a Luxury bus, which is 35-seater, to carry disabled to different locations to drop them, to give them empowerment. What I'm going to do now is to make sure I add value to society, to help to renew hope agenda, where you cannot wait for government anymore. Because if we keep on talking about government, those children, some of them, you cannot Look at the rate of crime today in the society. Me and you cannot walk on the street and wear this my God. You know that? I have to come with Tesco. Why did it happen? Because there's nothing. The Nigeria here, they don't have any handwork. They are just roaming about. There's no job. They have not decided what they can do to help our government. I am on my own. I'm not working in any government organization. This is what I call for. To give when I give, if I feel a leave.
Okay, so, I understand the part that, you feel that individuals should live up to the fact that they should be able to give back to the society. But one of the things that the government have been doing, and many people have not really,
highlighted it?
Yes, is the fact that government keeps giving palliatives. Don't you think that government should rather focus on empowering than giving palliatives?
That is where I'm coming from. Now, thank you. What I think about government should do now, right now, there is a serious problem outside there. The other time I go out, I see an old woman, I give him empowerment, grinding machine. I say, look, he say, my son run away and leave me. He doesn't have work. What you are doing for me, I give them grinding machine, I give them some little cash, I give them moral support, that if you have a child that want to go to school, I will pay the school fees. What government should focus right now? What government should focus right now is empowerment. Let them learn handwork. It will take a lot of people. Like now, you finish your secondary school, you are waiting for admission. You don't have to be at home, be idle. No. If you finish your secondary school, you want to go back to university and there's no admission, you can go and learn handwork. When you are waiting, you may decide to learn that handwork and still go back to school, and you have a lot in your hand. At the end of the day, even if you don't have government job doing, you still have your handwork. You can feed your family, take care of your other people under you. That is what I am begging Nigerians, the government, and other people to come out, that are watching me outside there, to come out and help.
All right. Well, of course, the poverty level keeps dropping. Before it used to be maybe below $100. Now it's even probably getting, below $1 rather. But now it's even getting maybe less than $1. So, but without statistics, how do you identify the people that would need this palliatives or this help, this empowerment?
I can show you some of my video where you see me going around. See, you don't sit in your office and you think you can empower anybody. No. Haji Aziza Mama Vasa Foundation go outside to villages to look out for people they are in need.
Okay, so this is your video?
Yeah, this is some of my video. Okay. This one is, if they can show you other video that I'm in the bush, I'm in Gwari area where I can reach out to people, where I can talk to people. This is Nigeria prison. Okay. When I went there, I saw some of them in prison. The offense is very little. They are there. I have arranged my lawyer to go and fight for them. I will pay. I want to know their problem. It's okay. For the Nigeria prison, let me give them sewing machine, give them a shoemaker machine, so that they can be able to learn that handwork. When they come out, they will use food to society. So that the rate of crime in society is getting out of hand. Where the younger generation is coming up, we don't want them to come and see some of those things that is happening now. That's the reason I'm going around. To me, I go inside the bush where they needed me, where I know that they need help. I go to motherless home in Gwari. The house is uncompleted building. I promised them I have to renovate, and I promised them hairdresser. I have already delivered the hairdresser for them. The grown-up one among them is 16. He said he has learned handwork. He's just looking for hairdressing machine. If you give me opportunity, there's no chance. I could have shown you when I present the hairdresser machine to them.
All right. So when you look at other countries, you can see that maybe government also, I mean, I know that many years ago in the US and in the UK, they give something like your daily survival, like a day ration of food. If you submit yourself to the government and say, you know, I'm helpless and I'm hopeless. So we can't take out the place of giving palliatives. But do you think that maybe we can come to a place where government partners with people like you and say, okay, because if you give me 20,000 naira and say, go into business and I am hungry, I'll first of all eat maybe before I do the business.
God bless.
Yeah, so do you think we can get to a point where government says, you know what, let's take care of the palliatives while people like you, you know, take care of this kind of empowerment so that we don't have a runoff or we ignore any parts? Do you think that can help streamline this process to be a lot more productive?
And let me tell you about something. In Nigeria, I find it difficult to, you know, when you find a good person, to me, if I saw you doing good, I have to call you to support you. In Nigeria here, when you do good, what they do, they kick against you. He think he have all the money. I'm not the richest person. What I expect government to do is very simple. Food is important. This empowerment hand to hand. I write my foundation name on them. I have a supervisor that supervises them round. My supervisor go to Maiduguri last month to check those widows that I give 60 machines. They are doing well. They are praying for me every day. You can imagine 300 people. In Abuja University, I give 65 students scholarship. The motherless home, they are not going to school. You go there, you see small children. I say, I'll pay their school fee till they finish. What are we talking about? I have to locate that school by myself to make sure I pay to the school. Anytime they want to pay, I pay to the school. I didn't give to one person to go and pay for me or give it to the head of that foundation. He'll pocket the money and solve his own problem. This is what I'm talking about. What government can do right now is to look for good people outside here. I believe I'm one of them anyway. So they should look for them. Come and partner with my foundation. I imagine I have 50 hectares. Imagine model farming. We are talking of model farming. The people you are picking, all this, the less privileged, can learn model farming. They start contributing in our society. Go to China. If you go to China, you see a lot of people, they are learning farming. They don't see farming as a bad work. In Nigeria here, if I go today and want to farm, they say, Haji Adila Mama Basa want to do farming. Hey, they will start, you know, there is a way they will look at you. But I want to bring that thing behind us now. I want to bring model farming, skill work, where you can learn. So I beg government to come and partner with me and other good people outside here. That is what I'm hoping for.
You know, it's good that you have all of these plans, you know, out for yourself. But, you know, my major concern is how, because Nigeria is bad with statistics and data. We actually do not, you know, have a collection of, okay, these are the people who are in their need of empowerment of palliatives. How do you get to know these people? How do you streamline? What do you work with? You know, because it's very important for us to know, you know, how you're able to know this in 20, maybe in this village. I have done my survey and I saw that 20 people. How do you get to know all of them? Okay. And you said you went into the bush, you know. That got me a bit. I'm just saying that got me a bit.
You're wondering if we're going to show that video.
So I wanted to know, you know, when you went into the bush, what was it like? You know, the people that you met, how were you able to identify that? Okay, this is what this person, or this is what. Okay. You know, I just want to know.
Okay, first of all, what I used to do, I'll meet the chief of community.
Okay.
The emir. You know, they have a traditional ruler in every local government.
Yes.
Everywhere in Gwari area council, they have some women that they are there. They are market women. They are doing small business. I have to go around in the market and start watching them. I want to buy something. What do you do, madam? They say, this is my business. How much are you using to start this business? Say, my daughter, I use 50,000 naira to start business. I'm doing well. My son is going to school. I said, okay, that is fine. I will go to the next person, start asking them questions. Sometimes I meet the traditional ruler to talk to them. I need people that is orphan. They don't have mother. They don't have anybody to stand for them. That is why I'm here. They say, okay, some of them, they are here. They are not going to school. I say, okay, I will look for school in that environment. Because this is the only way you can achieve this. If you are sitting down, you cannot achieve this. You have to go to ask questions. Market is easier place to you to get what you want. Because those women, they are there. They are there. You go around, they are there. So what I will do is, okay, there is a school around here. Because I cannot take all of them now from Suleja to come inside town. No. There is a government school. There is a private school. I can select 50 of them. I say, how much is the cost, please? They will tell me. I say, okay, I'll pay. Just like these children now. The woman is complaining bitterly. They don't have a helper. Nobody. I said, don't worry, I'll pay. How many children that they? I think they are 28 in number. I said, I'll pay their school fees. They grow up. If I die, my children will continue where I stop.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's indeed a beautiful place to round it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a bit emotional.
I look forward to see you time to time.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Looking forward to see you also.
Thank you very much for coming.
So I have a book to present for you.
Okay. We'll take it after the show. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, that's a very good way to round it up. But as it stands, there are 224.7 million active mobile telephone lines in Nigeria. And that is according to the information released by the NTC on its website. This may not be unconnected with the rise in the use of dual SIM phones, with Nigeria being the world's biggest market for such phones.
Well, of course, there is very little consumers can do about the state of their network's coverage. However, this next piece tends to find out the inconvenience or convenience, as the case may be, of carrying more than one SIM phone. This next piece captures our findings.
The need to stay constantly connected in different locations across the country has increased the use of multiple SIM cards for Nigerians. Some Nigerians feel that having more than one SIM card keeps them connected to their loved ones at all times of the day, no matter how bad the weather or any network glitch. Livinus Uchemba says he prefers having more than one card so that he can have options whenever one of the networks is having a downtime.
It is obvious that if I should have only one, because of network failure, maybe, as a businessman, somebody that is connected, I need multiple SIM cards. That is why I go for two.
Like weekly, I spend no less than 2,000 naira in recharges. Yeah. Combined with data, I spend up to 4,000 or 3,500.
With more phones or SIM cards comes more costs spent on airtime and data, but these residents say they don't mind the extra cost as long as they remain connected.
If I am recharging, I recharge 50-50. I mean, sometimes I recharge 1,000 on MTN and then 1,000 on Airtel, which I maintained.
At the same time?
It depends on what is in my pocket. Yeah.
But you at least maintain?
No, not really. That is why I did not go for, above two. I maintain two because I use one for WhatsApp and the other one, for calls. So at the end of the day, let's say weekly, I was recharge 500 naira. Then the other one 500 naira. That's 1,000 naira in a week. I manage before the week runs out. Then I recharge another 1,000 naira.
New data shows that about 66% of phones purchased in 2015 are dual SIM phones. In 2020, the Nigeria Communications Commission had given a directive that mobile phone users in Nigeria should no longer have more than 3 SIM cards. Despite this directive, the craze for dual SIM phones and multiple SIM cards have continued to rise over the years.
I think almost everybody in Nigeria, maybe more than half of the population, have Dwasing phones. Interesting.
Well,
But let me ask you, Jim, can you drive from Lagos to Yola?
Let me answer you, Demola. I can't even drive to save my life.
Interesting, but Pelumi was able to drive to save our life from London to Lagos. Fueled by desire to inspire others and showcase the beauty of Africa, Pelumi Nubi, a UK-based Nigeria, conquered the vast West Sahara Desert and traversed through a string of West African countries. She left London on the 30th of January and arrived in Paris on the 1st of February. What an interesting one. Ms. Pelumi finally arrived in Nigeria to a rousing welcome after spending 68 days on the road, which completed an epic solo road drive from London to Lagos.
Now, my latest mentor, her route stretched from England to France, then dipped down to Spain and Morocco. Finally, she reached her ultimate destination, the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria. Some of the countries Miss Pelumi traveled through include England, Spain, France, Morocco, Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria. In recognition of her courage and bravery, Pelumi was made an ambassador for Lagos State Tourism, which came along with a brand new car, so she can drive back and the house.
Why do you have to put that? Why do you have to put that? Like,
we've seen her talents in driving. How do you give her a plane? She has to drive back.
I want you to try it now. Try it.
I should try it. When I'm done with my driving lessons.
Oh, that's cool.
I can start from Abuja to Kogi. You start small.
That's not fun.
Yes.
That's not fun. But I think it's a very interesting one. This just give.
It takes a lot of bravery because you'd consider the fact that, I mean, women, on some level are seen as an endangered species. So you even be thinking how maybe some of the roads are lonely and all that. If there is a security issue, you're very prone and liable and all that. So the fact that she even decided to ignore all those negative thoughts and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I mean, even do the ship movement for places where there are no roads to drive through. So it's really a strong one.
All right, interesting. Let's move down to entertainment.
Well, of course, we begin the entertainment segment with some rather sad news as reactions continue to trail the events that led to the death of popular actor and skit maker Junior Pope. The Actors Guild of Nigeria has now ordered the suspension of all film productions in riverine areas and boat rides following the death of actor Junior Pope and 3 other crew members. Junior Pope and 3 of his colleagues reportedly drowned when their boat capsized on Anam River, Anambra State, while returning from a filming location on the River Niger. The Guild also warned across actors from participating in any film produced by Adama Luke until further notice.
Okay, this one is a bit funny. Bobrisky was the one who was convicted, who did the money mutilation, but Idris is the one inside it. Please, I don't want to laugh. Please. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't see what you find funny. That's someone's misery.
I'm just trying to.
That's Idris's misery.
Okay.
For all you care, you can laugh at Bobrisky, but please show some compassion.
Okay. So the same popular cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, a.k.a. Bobrisky, has been jailed for 6 months. With no option or fine over abuse of Naira, the EFCC had arraigned Bobrisky in court on a 6-count charge ranging from abuse of the Naira and money laundering on April 5th. The court, however, dismissed the money laundering charges, but convicted him for a Naira abuse after he confessed to the crime.
Okay, so this next one, you have to open your eye for all these people on the social media. Now, actress Sharon Oja has slammed trolls for claiming that she's keeping her husband's identity hidden, all because they think she stole him from another woman. I mean, we've seen series of this, but in a series of now deleted Instagram story posts, the actress posted screenshots of her conversation with a troll on Snapchat who suggested that Oja's husband is someone else's man. So the troll said, Abi, you still another man's husband? Why are you going to great lengths to hide the man? Yeah. The actress responded in great lengths, slamming the troll and emphasizing that her husband belongs to nobody.
I belong to everybody. I didn't know about that. Interesting. American rapper Ja Rule, whose real name is Jeffrey Bruce Edkins Sr., is happily heading to Ghana to make an impact on lives in the West African nation. The mesmerized rapper announced his trip to Ghana via social media posts. Ja Rule revealed that he will visit Ghana for a charity project that will oversee the construction of a classroom block. The project is an initiative of Pencils of Promise, an international NGO that seeks to bring quality education to kids around the world. Very good one.
Very good one. Water and Gary. Nollywood blockbuster featuring Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage in her first acting role is set for premiere on May 10. Its producers said Meji Alabi, director of the film, made the announcement on his Instagram page. The highly anticipated movie was produced by Jimmy Adesoya. The star-studded movie features Tiwa Savage in her acting debut alongside other Nollywood actors including Jemima Osunde, Mike Afolarin and Andrew Bunting.
I'm waiting to see the movie.
Well, waiting. What's that, Gary?
I don't know about you, but what's on, Gary? Waiting. That is sports. Nigeria Football Federation Board has appointed former Under-17 World Cup winner Manu Garba as head coach of Nigeria Under-17 Boys Golden Eaglets. Garba led the Golden Eaglets to win the FIFA World Under-17 World Cup for Nigeria in the United Arab Emirates in 2013. Nigeria's first triumph at that stage. In the same role, the former Nigeria international will now immediately resume the role and take charge of the team's preparation for the Mount Wafu B Under-17 Championship taking place in Ghana.
Okay, this one is a bit dramatic and funny. So an Al-Ittihad striker, Abdulrazak Abdallah, was whipped by a fan from the stands during an argument after Thursday's Saudi Super Cup final. The incident occurred during the awards ceremony after Al-Hilal's 4-1 win over Al-Ittihad in Abu Dhabi. A video shared on social media showed Abdallah reacting to the provocation of the individual who was wearing a tob and was in the stands close to the field. The 33-year-old Moroccan international, Abdallah, shouted at the spectator before throwing water at him.
I don't want to comment. Formula One has announced the return of F1 race to Australia and the host of next season's opener, the 2024 calendar, which marks the 75th anniversary of the F1 World Championship. Will see Albert Park Circuit in Melbourne host the opening round on the 16th of March for the first time since 2019. Bahrain, which has been the first race of the season for the past 4 years, will become the third race, and 1 week after the Japan Grand Prix and 1 week before Saudi Arabia. Bahrain and Saudi Arabia needed to move later in the year to avoid a clash with Ramadan. Also, the Chinese Grand Prix, which will make its return to F1 on April 21st after a 4-year absence caused by COVID pandemic, will be the second race of the 2025 season and will be held back-to-back with Australia. And that's it all on sports.
Well, quite interesting, to see the return of the races to Australia. And also to the Chinese Grand Prix. So COVID-19 derailed China. They have to take their time to return. And it's good to see, yes, that.
You know the story that funny me?
I know. I know. That's why I avoided it. Yeah, but, the fan paid money to come and watch. It's not like you people that turn up free at the stadium.
Please, I'm trying to understand your point of view.
Probably even bet some money.
So?
And you missed the chance. I don't get it. So why should you not be angry?
Interesting. Okay, but another one that I think struck it for me this past week was UEFA Champions League. Please give some kudos to Arsenal, please.
Well,
just give some kudos to
he
us.
also raised that match. Also raised some questions about the VAR. Has it really impressed? Has the VAR really impacted positively on football officiating in terms of we still have these controversies? I mean, because everyone was saying that should have been a penalty. And the big question was, why didn't the referee go to the VAR? Interesting. And of course, there's going to be matches today in the Premiership. And in La Liga and all other matches around, and of course in the Nigerian Professional League. Yeah, definitely there would be great fixtures in the Nigerian Professional Football League. All right, thank you very much for joining us for today. On behalf of the production team, it's been a wonderful, interesting, mouth-watering show today. I am Ademola Lawrence. Join us next week as we bring you stories happening in the world of entertainment, lifestyle, sport, politics, and everything you want to know. And I am Jane Francis Nweze. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms. Interesting. Bye.